Ambrose Finnegan, they called him Uncle Bosie, he was shot down. He was in the Army Air Corps before there was an Air Force. He flew single-engine planes, reconnaissance flights over New Guinea. He had volunteered because someone couldn't make it. He got shot down in an area where there were a lot of cannibals in New Guinea at the time. They never recovered his body, but the government went back when I went down there, and they checked and found parts of the plane and the like. And what I was thinking about when I was standing there was when Trump refused to go up to the memorial for veterans in Paris, and he said they're a bunch of suckers and losers.
Only a little problem. His uncle's plane, in which he was a passenger, didn't crash in New Guinea, and he wasn't shot down. According to official military records, state the aircraft plunged into the Pacific. Pentagon records state, for unknown reasons, this plane was forced to ditch in the ocean off the north coast of New Guinea. Both engines failed at low altitude and the aircraft's nose hit the water hard. The three men failed to emerge from the sinking wreck and were lost in the crash. One crew member survived and was rescued by a passing barge, but not according to the president, who, for reasons no one can explain, has begun spinning this bizarre variation to the story where the plane is shut down, his uncle is consumed by man-eating primitives, and he's so taken by this fantasy tale that he's repeated it twice in 24 hours.
Back when D-Day occurred, and on Sunday, the next day, my mother's four brothers all went down to the recruiting station and joined the military. Every one of them volunteered. And my uncle, they called him Ambrose, Bosie, they called him Bosie. My Uncle Bosie was a hell of an athlete, they tell me, when he was a kid. And he became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea. And then my son volunteered to go to Iraq for a year, and he came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. And they gave, like many of you, risked your lives, and you know people who gave their lives to the country. They're heroes. But one of the things that as I was doing that today, I was reminded of what my opponent said in Paris not too long ago. They asked him to go visit American grave sites. He said no, he wouldn't do it because they were all suckers and losers. I'm not making that up.
It's totally made up.
That man doesn't deserve to have been the commander-in-chief for my son. Got shot down in an area where there were a lot of cannibals. They never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real.
Sure, buddy.
You know, my dad, when I got elected vice president, he said, Joey, Uncle Frank fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He was not feeling very well now, not because of the Battle of the Bulge, but he said, and he won the Purple Heart. And he never received it. He never got it. Do you think you could help him get it? We'll surprise him. So I got him the Purple Heart. He had won it in the Battle of the Bulge. And I remember he came over to the house, and I came out, and he said, present it to him. Okay, we had the family there. I said, Uncle Frank, you won this, and I went to peace. He said, I don't want the damn thing. I'm serious. He said, I don't want it. I said, what's the matter, Uncle Frank? You earned it. He said, yeah, but the others died. The others died. I lived. I don't want it. And by the way, I told you about my uncle who won the Purple Heart, the Battle of the Bulge, and my father's younger brother. My father came to me after I was a senator, and he said, you know, his brother's name was Frank. And he said, you know, Uncle Frank never got his Purple Heart. I think you could find out about that. I was a senator, so I found out, and sure enough he did, so I got a Purple Heart for him. Invited him over to the house with the family to give it to him. He said, I don't want the damn thing. And I said, why? He said, the others died. I did. I don't want it. And an awful lot of brave people died as well there.
President Biden raising questions over this story where he claims he awarded his uncle a Purple Heart during his vice presidency.
Critics were quick to question the fact, though, since Biden was vice president in 2008, but his uncle passed away in 1999.
Since he was in his 20s, he has been a compulsive liar about basically everything, particularly personal stuff that you could call unforced errors. In other words, he talks about things like awarding Purple Hearts to his uncle when his uncle died 9 years prior to before he could possibly even do that. So it's just so insulting to all the military families that are out there. This is who Joe Biden is. It has nothing to do with age and being confused. This is somebody who just does this reflexively to bolster his own resume.